I've been wanting to make this video for quite a while, and I guess now is the time, even though it's an i5 drive. Might as well. It's my Angels video. Now, this isn't a complete list, and I may forget some of them, and it's not in any specific order other than how I'll start. You know, there's been people that have come into my life and just seems to be at the perfect time when I was, completely at my wit's end about what to do next. There's nothing, what do I do? How do I keep going forward when I've got nothing left and I'm worn out and it's just nothing's working? And that's the basics of what I would say, the Angels are. They've been people that have appeared, and then, some of them, or most of them, it's just for a period of time. Like they say, some people are in your life for your entire life, and some are not. Some people are just in your life for a period of time to teach you something, to help you or to hurt you, either way. But this is the Angels video, and so the first two Angels, I am. With all the bad luck I've had in my life in different ways, I have to admit that I am very, very lucky in my first two Angels. They are my mother and my father. And they're totally angels. I wouldn't have made it this far in life without them, without either one. Even if I was born. If it was just up to what I've been able to accomplish as I've become an adult and throughout my life, I wouldn't have made it this far. I would have probably jumped off a cliff or something by now, or just not made it. So my mom and my dad are my first two Angels. My mom was with me, her whole life, and I was, in and out of staying with her. I never felt like any place was home except for with her. When I was younger, and my parents got divorced when I was pretty young, and it was just my mom and I against the world for a while, and that's how it felt, and we were always close, and we could always see eye to eye for the most part, and she knows my heart, and I know hers, and there was no problem there. Some people thought it was strange, but I don't. And my dad, has been, I didn't live with him as much growing up, or as after being an adult even, but I did some, and I've been back and forth between them when I was younger. And my dad, he's not always there when I want something necessarily, but when the shit hits the fan and I'm asked out, he's there, and he comes through more times than I can remember. I can't even thank him enough for how much he's helped me over the years. I probably can't even remember all the times he's bailed me out, saved my car or something, just things that we need in our modern world. And he really has given me the best thing that somebody's father could give them, and that is that I know he loved my mom. There's no doubt in my mind that my dad loved my mom dearly. And even though they got divorced, he still loved her, though, and he still does. And that's, if your parents loved each other, that's quite a gift. So my first two Angels are my parents. And where do you go from there, though? Oh, that's kind of a big jump down to the next one, but these people are Angels too, and who would I go from there? Okay, this is not in any chronological or alphabetical order, but I would have to say, my friend Jerry, he's one of my Angels. I mean, he's kind of a devil too, but he's, I met him in senior year at Camas High School, and my mom was shortly after I turned 19. She moved to Idaho, and I was kind of stranded down here. I don't have brothers or sisters, and I do have other aunts and uncles, but being an only child and us living on the other side of the river for most of the family. You know, I know them all. I know where they live, but we're not super close necessarily. But Jerry took me in with him, you know, and his dad is kind of an angel to me too, and by letting me, you know, live with them. It wasn't up to Jerry. His parents they have their issues. Won't even go into that, but they let me be there, have some place to be, and Jerry's one of my angels. He really has been. And, you know, I don't know, I guess I just jump around. In more recent times, there's, let me think here. Gosh, that's why I knew it'd be hard to make this video, because I don't know. There's a lot of people, and I'm like racking my brain. Okay, think. Use your name. Come up with some names here. Who's your angels? You know, Matt Zapala. Matt's one of my angels. You know, I got referred to him from come on now, you can do it. Cheryl Plug. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but Cheryl, who's an angel also, who you know, took me into her house and gave me the room above the stairs to stay in. Yeah, you know, and found out I'm a mechanic, and hooked me up with Matt. Or how'd that go? No, Matt hooked me up with her, because I didn't have any place to stay. That's right. I was staying at Dan's. Dan's one of my angels, even though he's ridiculous. Dan Solland, and his mom, Betty Solland's an angel too. They let me stay out there, and I helped them as best I could, and they helped me by letting me have some place to be and some place, you know. I had to move out of my shop when I got too sick to operate the shop anymore, around 2015, and I had no place to go. I was shop equipment, motorcycles and stuff, and Dan used to race motorcycles and stuff, and I'd known him for years. Hadn't seen him in quite a while, and he came by the shop, and it's like, well, you come and stay out of my place. And they, you know, his dad was really elderly at the time too, and wasn't terribly happy about it at first, but after a little while, I think they saw that I wasn't like some crazy, you know, partier guy that's gonna have all kinds of drama going on or nothing, and they were okay with that. And I was there for a good year and a half, probably. Angels, you know, I had nothing, nowhere to go. I was just like me. I'm assed out. I'm gonna have to just give my shit away and, you know, go walk my ass down to the homeless shelter or something. But they came through and were there at the right time, and they, you know, saved my butt. And Tad's a total angel. Tad and Nancy, the place I'm staying at now. I met Tad through the motorcycle shop too. He brought in some Honda Trail 90s that he picked up, and he wanted them to be running, gone through, tuned up, and everything dependable on them, because he was shipping them to Africa, to a village where they were going to use them to get water, because it was like a mile to the well from where their village was or something, and they needed a way to get water to the village, and that's how I met Tad. Tad's a retired engineer. He worked for Raytheon and Lockheed and government things and NASA. He's still convinced the Earth is a spinning ball, but that's okay. I don't know how, but I don't want to argue with him about it. He doesn't argue anyway. He's the coolest guy you ever met. I can't say enough about that. You know, this is 2 or 3 times. He's been an angel more than once, and I've only known him about 7 or 8 years. You know, when I was so sick I couldn't function there the first time I stayed at his property. You know, I stayed in my van out there, and and his wife Nancy is an angel too for allowing that, because you know, if somebody's married and they're letting you stay out at their place and they're married, then it's their wife really that's letting you stay there, because she could just say, no, I don't want him here, and you got to kick rocks. But they're not. They're salt of the earth people, and the total angels to me. Oh man, I don't know. I'm gonna have to make a list, I guess, in order to do this video properly, but you know, because there's way more angels than that. Rusty is an angel, Rusty Anderson, Steven Anderson. He saved my butt a lot of times, and just being a friend. And last time I went to see him, he was all crotchety, and he's like, "Rawr," roared at me, and I got to the door, like, all right, I'm getting out of here, because he's a crotchety guy, and big old fucking, you know, journeyman, fucking millwright. But he's an angel too. He saved my butt. He's gave me, you know, hooked me up with some great weed deals when I needed it, and I had people to buy weed. That's not the all of it though, you know. He's an angel too. Yeah, you know. Actually, Wendy is an angel too until she became a devil, but you know, sorry, I couldn't be her boyfriend, and I wasn't gonna pretend. And her mom was an angel for helping me out, and they did too. That's a long story, and I don't care to get into it, but you know, some of the angels turned out to have a, I don't know, maybe not quite so angelly, but they're still, if they saved my ass, they saved my ass. I can't deny it, you know, and she did. She came through when I was at some of my worst there out at Dan's place, and just, you know, feeling like I couldn't go on anymore and could barely function, and, you know, she came through and helped me out a lot, and then gave me a place to stay as well, and things didn't work out, but you know, that's how it goes. You know, nobody's perfect, and can't win them all. But anyway, I'm gonna end this video now. I'm gonna have to make another installment of it after I make a list and just start adding names to it, because there's at least a dozen more that need to be on the list. Alright, that's all I got for now. Take care, guys. Bye.